Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Massify, back with another video. Before I get started, I need you to give me the HBO special. That's the Have a Brother Out special by hitting that like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like the content. Shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast. Currently, I'm like 9 miles in to my 12-mile walk, and it's pretty hot today. It's like 88, so I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. So overall, I've been make sure I keep myself hydrated for the most part. So anyway, today I want to be talking about MTR has dropped his final video about the pop the balloon guy situation, Aaron, and whatnot, and he gave his final commentary on it, and he says he's going to be pretty much done with it. So I'm definitely going to let y'all check out his video and see what he says, and I'll chime in periodically, just give my opinion.
All right, guys, I'm back. And there's been some things that have come to my attention that absolutely need to be addressed. But admittedly, I've been out of the loop for a little while. I was celebrating my birthday this past weekend with my family, and I made it a mission to turn off all of my internet to be present with them. But the current narrative of the Pop the Balloon story has gotten so out of hand that it's necessary that I address it. So I'm here to set the record straight. So let's get active. But before we get started, let me just address this right now. This guy does not deserve an apology. See, there's a lot of information that you guys don't know. Previous to distancing myself from him, I confirmed that he lied to me numerous times, not only reducing his credibility towards me, but then also that he is not this reformed member of society, but still an active alleged criminal deviant and alleged deadbeat father. But ensure that you watch the entirety of this video so that you can have all of the proper evidence, receipts, as well as context, so that you have the proper understanding of the true narrative, the real narrative, because there's a lot of information out there that is just untrue. But before I get into all of that, let me provide a brief synopsis because there's many people who watch me that have no idea what's going on. I recently did several videos about a guy who was on the Pop the Balloon dating show, and the story was that allegedly numerous people called into his place of business to get him fired due to how he acted on the show. He then started a GoFundMe, leveraging this story, which amounted to around $14,000 in donations. As you guys know, my channel's purpose is all about restoring power to men, and I do that in several different ways. But one of the ways is that I highlight stories about men who are going through real adversity and featuring their stories on my platform. So again, I thought that it was deplorable. I thought it was disgusting that this man was canned because of cancel culture. And I uploaded 3 videos initially to talk through this. But during those videos, I never told my audience to donate to the GoFundMe. But really, I focused my talking points around the injustice that this man suffered. I then decided to reach out to him to do a live stream interview with him that ended up lasting 5 hours. Now, I got a lot of criticism after interviewing him, but I wanted to give him a fair shot to tell his side of the story. There was no gotcha questions. And in fact, I reached out to him before the interview and went over the things that I wanted to talk about. Now, while I was deeply criticized for even having an interview with him, the interview itself was definitely a success in a sense of it gave me the opportunity to extract a lot of information for him that was used inevitably to poke holes into his story. But again, a little bit more on those holes a little bit later. Now, after this live stream, Abba and Preach, much larger content creators than me, made a damning video questioning the integrity of this guy. Now, I immediately went live to react to that video defending the man because I knew that regardless of his behavior on that show or his past criminal history, he still did not deserve to be fired. After that, another content creator by the name of the Queen of Accountability reached out to me to provide information that demonstrated that clearly he was being deceptive with me about his story. For example, I asked him on the 5-hour live stream, have you ever been convicted of any harm against women? Is there any stalking within your arrest record? Your warrants? Nothing?
No
Okay.
crimes against women, no crimes against children.
Okay. So in other words, it's not adding up. Is my conclusion right here?
It's not adding up because and obviously I'm not a good criminal because you see all the charges I get. Every time I do something, I get caught.
That was a lie, with charges of not only sex trafficking, but also pandering, which is like the cousin of pimping. Now, does this disprove that he was actually fired from his job? No, but it was my first indication of deception. He also lied about the knowledge of him having a son. Do you remember what he said on the live stream when I asked him about his child? Summon him.
But he actually does have a kid.
Now we also see evidence of him having a child that he denied in the video.
He just
Okay, you got a child now?
Okay, now I'm gonna say this. For me to answer that question without destroying lives, I'm gonna say this. If I have a child out there, summon him.
Okay.
Summon him. Bring him here. Where is the mother? I haven't heard anything about anything in years. You know, if there's any kids out there that people are stating that are mine, you know, summon him and rectify that matter. Let's clear all the smoke that's out there. If there is a child out there that is mine, summon him, please. I'm a man that handles his responsibilities.
Okay.
I would love to be a father more than anything on the earth.
So it sounds like a woman accused you, or not. Yeah, a woman got pregnant and thought you might be the father.
All I can say is, if I have a child out there, summon him.
Okay.
I don't want to destroy any families. I don't want to destroy any lives. So,
Okay.
in order for me to elaborate on this matter more, it would absolutely have to happen.
Okay.
So, if there is a child out there that is mine, summon him.
Well, they've been trying to summon this guy. His alleged son, who he has definitely met, is 8 years old. The mother has begged him to take a DNA test for the past 8 years to prove his paternity. His birth certificate shows that she named the child after him, Aaron Sloan Jr. But you know what he also shares? His entire face, including that big bright smile. What a beautiful boy that has to deal with being raised without a father's presence. I had no idea that as I defended him, while I utilized stories about my relationship with my father, this guy was actively avoiding taking a DNA test to prove paternity. We watched him throw money up in the club. He claimed that he has $100,000 in the bank. Do what's right. He also lied about his plans for the GoFundMe money. In ridiculous fashion, he posted on his social media the evidence that the GoFundMe account that he had was locked. But underneath that post, he wrote, "Black man can't celebrate his birthday now?" Really? Underneath the post that your GoFundMe account got locked? And then he writes, "How you gonna tell me how to spend my money?" As if he's not obligated to spend his money for the purpose he created the GoFundMe for. So he lied about plans for the GoFundMe, but we're all expected to believe that he got fired from his job or that he had a legit job to get fired from. Even before confirming all of these different lies, I was suspicious. Hence why I never said to donate to the GoFundMe to begin with. But at this point, now my suspicion meters are off the charts. And there's other things within that 5-hour stream that were uncovered, like, when he had first tried to lie about putting the tracker into his ex-girlfriend's car after I pressed him about it.
And I was like, how did you know I was outside, right? He said, I put my extra phone tracking you in your car and I left it on record because I was expecting to record you doing something, as in cheating on me or like messing around in your car. And I was like, I was done. After that,
I have never heard of a smartphone in the car. Like, how long would a smartphone stay on? Those things are going to overheat after a while. Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay, blatantly. She's just making that up out of thin air.
Yes, she's making that up. Okay.
Now, as you can tell, MTR has far more evidence that Aaron has been lying in a lot of the conversation. As you can see, we did discover that he lied about how he tracked his ex in the car with the extra cell phone, which he denied at first, but we found out that was true.
Come on, let's talk about it.
A few moments later.
I'm trying to see how I can answer this. I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this. Honestly, I don't know how to answer this. But no, I didn't put no smartphone. I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have two phones. Okay.
Aaron.
No, listen. Let me break it down to you. I had two phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully, because they're gonna crucify me. So I lied to her. I told her I did an airdrop, left the phone in there, but I don't even know how to do an airdrop. But honestly, yes, the phone location, my location was on. I know she was cheating on me and stuff, so I did. If it sounds crazy, then man, whatever.
Aaron, I appreciate you telling.
Yeah.
I appreciate you telling the truth.
I was in love, man. It sounded like a simp, whatever, man. I was in love. That's what happened.
But let's get off of all of the holes that I was able to see through via my 5-hour live stream. Because at this point in the story, it gets worse. Because I have evidence that he has completely misrepresented himself. Not in the past before he went to jail, but now. Currently, that he's not a reformed member of society that he has led us all to believe. There was a police incident report that was filed April 20th of this year, of 2024. Months before his episode on Pop the Balloon even aired, a woman accused him of sexual assault. Now, this woman actually joined the Queen of Accountability stream and recounted this assault. Her recounting it is beyond disturbing, and I'm not going to replay it right now. And guys, listen, you guys already know I am not a fan of guilty until proven innocent. But again, another piece of information as to who this person actually is and why now I'm considering distancing my brand as well as my community from him. By the way, this is not just a police incident report. The district attorney's office is currently working on pursuing charges against him.
Now, as you can see here, everybody keep talking about we bringing up this guy's past and that he's working on being a better person. But he has a lot of current issues that he's currently facing. He's still being the same person after he got out of prison. He's stalking women and things of this nature. These are evidence of police reports that has been filed way before he ever became famous. So this is not made up stuff here. This guy is pretty much still being the same menace to society that he's been even after he's gotten out of prison. Let's continue.
And then to top all of this off, I then receive at least 7 police incident reports from the past year. Again, this is not before he got locked up. This is within the past year, since 2023, from other women that he attempted relationships with. Now, mind you, these women did not know each other before he went viral, who all claim similar allegations of abuse. The MO is something like they met, he begins to demonstrate overbearing or stalking behavior, and then when they break up, he goes ballistic. Allegations of destroying their property, and even with one girl, he allegedly removed a garbage disposal from the woman's sink out of spite. Sounds like something a petty plumber would do. With documented text messages of threats to get them fired, which is interesting because that's exactly what he said happened to him in his GoFundMe story. Also, these text messages show that he's threatening his exes with even like releasing revenge porn. Now, I'm not going to put that picture evidence on the screen for obvious reasons, but again, all of this information is on the Queen of Accountability stream. And if you want information from the source, I suggest that you go watch the content. But let me pause right here and let me just ask you guys, what would have you done if you were in my situation? You've dedicated at least 5 videos, working 15, maybe even 20 plus hours in total on a mission that you truly believe that you are supporting a man in a very unjust situation. You cross-reference what was said in a live interview, realizing that there's numerous holes in his story, putting his integrity completely in question, which in turn puts my credibility at risk. You have evidence to support that he is not a reformed member of society. Would you continue to advocate for him? If he lied to you about all of these very important things, then it is logical that he is probably lying about other things. In fact, could he be lying about the story to begin with? Only a fool continues to believe a story that has no evidence to support it. But even still, I gave him the benefit of the doubt before I came to my final conclusion. I asked him one last time via DMs, give me at least the name of your job. Now, this was my last ditch effort for him to raise his credibility with me. I mean, shit, I could have signed an NDA saying that I wouldn't publish anything publicly, but he told me no. His most ardent defender. Now listen, to give the audience credit, y'all didn't know any of this or what was exactly going on in my mind at the time, and you shouldn't have. Why? Because I didn't tell you. I chose to not completely eviscerate this guy, putting him on blast because of the magnitude of his dishonesty, including his current criminal allegations. My plan was just to send everyone to the Queen of Accountability stream to receive all of the necessary information. She did the research. She deserved the credit. So at this point, again, after speaking with him one last time, I created my video distancing myself from the situation until he could produce proof that he was fired. But a mistake was in fact made. We alluded to in that video him possibly not having a license because we couldn't find evidence of it at the time. Now, the Queen of Accountability found it that next morning and posted it to her community chat page, but not a lot of people saw it. And nevertheless, he went on a podcast that showed proof of a license, which attempted to discredit us while still not providing evidence of the original claim that he was fired. By the way, no one seemed to have noticed within that stream that when he brought up that he had an LLC in New Mexico, his name is Aaron Trevon Sloan SR. SR is senior.
Domestic Limited Liability Company, State of Incorporation, New Mexico. And then he looked like he scrolled down a little bit more so he could show everybody. Aaron Trevon Sloan, Senior, and the address, of course, is blurred out for his safety. And, yep, organizer information, all that.
He's telling you right there that he acknowledges fatherhood. But he used that Academy Award-winning victim narrative about us trying to destroy his life with his past. And that's when the narrative switched on me to jumping the gun, to being a backstabber, a traitor, a flip-flopper, a clout chaser, and that I needed to apologize to him. And that's really where everything left off. And, you know, the entire story is absolutely incredible and kind of reminds me of like an ancient Greek parable where now I have to vanquish the monster that I helped create. And I helped create him through defending him on my platform. But listen, guys, I want you guys to understand is that I'm pretty much a one-man show here. I'm not a journalist and I'm damn sure not perfect. I will make mistakes. It actually just happened to Abba and Preach, specifically Abba, when they did that whole Fresh and Fit, Daisy Fit Chen explosion. They had a conversation with a young lady, and then eventually the young lady started to have advances towards Abba, and he had to come back later and say, hey guys, listen, she may not be as believable as what I thought before. But I will tell you guys what, to receive messages that I wish that you died from cancer, to messages that I should have died with my father, is sick. But do understand that I will not be discouraged. Hate cannot break me. I am way too strong for that. And situations like this are only gonna make me stronger. I will stop at nothing to create impact. I remain committed to the mission and the purpose of this channel. I will not be silenced. I will speak up for what I believe in. I built 5 years of equity on this platform doing exactly just that. But I've learned that when you're in the spotlight, while at times it'll shine, it may also burn. Yet I'm even more committed to a set of values anchored in integrity as well as accountability. And I've been affirmed by the countless messages from both men and women thanking me for my content over the years, that it has changed some component of their life. I will, however, change the processes around defending somebody. It's like you can have an interview with somebody, but when you get to defending someone, you need to do the prior due diligence beforehand into exactly who they are. Now, this is the last time that I plan on addressing this topic, as I'm going to move on. Hopefully this video resonates with you and gives you the accurate reality regarding this narrative. But this right here is the narrative. This is the reality. Until next time.
So as you can see at the end of the day, in conclusion, I can clearly tell why MTR totally separated himself from this guy. This guy is actually still a current menace to society. Personally, we don't know him like that, but his criminal record is pretty much speaking for itself. He still has current convictions. He has a child that looks like him. And there's so many things that he did lie about that MTR, like I said, found out the truth. Daphne, the queen of accountability, has did the research and found so much against him that things can't really be refuted at this point. It's just, we're just finding out who the guy actually is. And he's a pookie ass ninja. It's as simple as that. Ain't nothing we can really do to try to save this dude. At this point, he's showing his true colors. He's showing who he is. And hey, it is what it is at this point. I saw Dennis Sperling. He made a video talking about men are acting off code and men are off code and whatever the case may be. And I'm sorry, but we talk about women and their girl code and how they try to support the toxic behavior of women. And we supposed to sit on this same guy code and support the toxic behavior of men? Sorry, Dennis, I am not rolling with you on this one, because at this point, with all the damning evidence that's out there, you just want to stick to your code and you won't hold his feet to the fire, and you keep talking about people are using this guy's past to destroy him. No, people are using who this guy is to destroy him for him being who he is. It's not his past that's doing it. It's who he currently still is, sir. It is what it is at this point. I'm off of it. This guy, Aaron, has turned out to be a piece of crap to society, a piece of junk to women. Who the guy turned out to be just ended up being the wrong package, the wrong guy for everything. What I think about how he handled himself on the Pop the Balloon show, I still have no problem with it. It is what it is at this point. He threw shots back, but overall, just finding out who this guy is overall as a person, and we still don't even know if this job exists that he so-called got fired from. He ended up turning out to be a trash dude, and it is what it is at this point. We off of it, and it's just time to let these pookies rest where they rest at. This is me, Mouseify. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all have a great day. Peace.